First, I will declare a national emergency at our southern border. All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came. We will reinstate my Remain in Mexico policy, and I will send troops to the southern border to repel the disastrous invasion of our country.
All right, so breaking news, as we've been saying we were going to do for years, finally, U.S. military troops under the Trump administration have officially been deployed to the southern border. Although I don't even really want to call that breaking news, because apparently, according to Texas Governor Greg Abbott, within the first hour, literally the first hour of the Trump administration, those U.S. troops started to show up at the southern border in Texas. Take a listen.
I don't think there's ever been a more sudden and swift change in any government operation than under President Trump when he took the oath of office. I would say overnight, but on the first hour of his tenure as president, we saw the change where there were military sent to the border. The military were blocking people from crossing the border illegally. The numbers of people who crossed on the 19th of January dropped dramatically on the 20th of January. They have continued to drop, and every single day, President Trump, working with Tom Homan, they've been deporting people to the countries they came from. But to show how Texas is a partner in all this process, on the hour that President Trump took office, Texas was deploying more buoys in the Rio Grande to deter and deny illegal entry into the country. The change, Maria, is this. We suddenly now have a commander-in-chief who cares about national security, who cares about securing the border, who's going to enforce the law. And importantly, he has a governor in a state in Texas that will be a partner with the Trump administration. We will assist in the arrest, the detention, and the deportation of people coming across the border illegally.
Yeah, so change has come to America. It turns out it doesn't take that long. It's not some type of rocket science to figure out how to secure your border. It's just an issue of whether or not you're willing to do it, which we are rapidly finding out with a lot of different issues. But let's focus on the border here. Joe Biden was unwilling to do. It wasn't an issue of the federal government didn't have resources, or this is so-called like a really difficult issue. It's not that easy. You just don't understand. No, it really is that easy. Now, folks, in a second, we're going to show you the actual receipts and the actual proof that the U.S. military is being sent to the border. But first, do us a big favor. If you enjoy the content, make sure you hit that like button down below and subscribe if you are new. You subscribing is the #1 way to ensure we can keep bringing you these videos and this coverage. So it's greatly appreciated. Let's begin the road to 1 million subs. And with that said, okay, so you can see it like right here in these videos. So take a look at this. The U.S. Army is currently installing razor wire on the southern border wall. Obviously, it is, self-intuitive. You should know why that can help bring down illegal border crossings, because it will make the border wall much harder to cross. But guys, take a look at this. I also want to be clear with people. We're not just talking about a few National Guard troops or something being sent to basically stand there at the border. No, it's very, very serious. It's very intense, as our border security should be, because take a look at this video published by the White House itself. Apparently, the U.S. Marine Corps is on the border assisting Border Patrol with the mission to secure America. That is according to the Trump White House. And you can see it right here, guys, in this video. So these are the Marines right here. And as you can see, we're not just talking about, they got the freaking Ospreys, okay? They're sending the Osprey helicopters to secure the border. That's intense, but that's meant to do what? Like send a very strong message. No, you shall not pass, right? This border is now secure once again. And guys, I have to be honest, I almost get a little bit emotional watching these videos, because my entire life, okay, I was born in 2003. So, I'm a Gen Z, basically grew up in the shadow of the war on terror, and that's all I know. So this is really the first time in my life where, with the exception of maybe like the National Guard, I am seeing the U.S. military be actively deployed not to go fight some foreign war, not to defend some type of foreign border, but to actually protect our border, right? To actually protect and defend our own country, our own citizens. And it's the way, obviously, things should be. But as we know, it's not something that is very normal, at least in the span that I've been alive on this earth and in this country.
With Biden and the radical left, it's always America last. And that's what they do. You look at these horrible deals they make throughout the world, it's always America last. Everyone in Washington is obsessing over how to protect Ukraine's border, but the most important border in the world right now for us is not Ukraine's border, it's America's border, and we do nothing about it but let people come in and we have no idea who they are. The first duty of the American president is to defend the American border. Before our leaders talk about invasions of other countries, they need to stop the invasion of this country.
So yeah, really, this is no longer talk about changes coming to America. No changes here. Change is currently underway in this country. Now, with that said, okay, so this obviously is a fulfillment of Trump's day one process to declare the southern border to be a national emergency. He said he was going to do this. This is now exactly what he is doing. But as you could probably expect, the Democrats are not exactly happy about this move. They are bitterly seething because we actually now have a secure border in this country. Take a listen to what Michigan Senator Elissa Slotkin, this is the newly elected Michigan senator, I should point out, right? Very close, very tight Senate race in 2024. This is unfortunately how it ended up. And just keep this in mind when we talk about Democrats supposedly changing after 2024, right? All this talk about how they're introspecting, they're going to learn, they're going to become more moderate. Well, turns out that's not exactly true, because when Trump finally takes actions to secure the border, guess who opposes it? Of course, none other than the Democrats.
We knew that the administration was going to use military aircraft to start sending people home. We're going to put that on TV. We knew that. But you're coming right up to that line of logistics and support and law enforcement. If there's people, as they say, that are criminals on those planes, who is the one enforcing order on those planes? You come really close to it. So it was something that I raised with Mr. Hegseth in his confirmation hearing. I just want to know, not that you're pledging an oath to Donald Trump, but you're not going to use the uniformed military in ways that violates the Constitution and makes American citizens scared of their own military. That was, we were scared of the British when they occupied us. We don't want to repeat that. So I'm watching that very, very closely.
So apparently it violates the Constitution to use the U.S. military to defend America. Seems like that's the entire constitutional point of the U.S. military. I know we have a skewed, warped vision of what the military is supposed to be because, like I said, growing up in my lifetime, the U.S. military, basically the central premise of it is like, this shall be used. This military shall be for defending everyone except America. But no, that's not what the military is actually meant for, okay? But fundamentally, again, why she is pissed off, why these Democrats are pissed off is because we are now taking serious actions to declare the border to be an emergency and to actually secure it. And I want people to keep that in mind because during the 2024 election, remember when the Democrats did that little pivot, right? Biden all of a sudden was like, folks, yes, the border is a crisis. Walks away, can't find the stairs or whatever. But, that's what he was saying. That's what the Democrats were saying. Democrats do care about border security. We actually are tough on immigration. We're just like the Republicans. The Republicans are right. And you always knew. I mean, I know the people watching this video are smart enough to understand it was always bluffing. It was bogus, right? They never cared about border security. They never cared about stopping illegal immigration or any of it. It was an election year pivot to try to seem more electable to Americans. And the moment they won, they were immediately going to go back to the open borders policies that defined the first 3 years of Joe Biden. But now, as you can see, even in the wake of the 2024 election, even the fact that they lost, And, you know, there was so much talk about how the Democrats are going to redefine themselves. They're not redefining themselves at all. They're immediately going back to Trump derangement syndrome. Open borders are good. Any serious action that Trump takes to secure the border must be inherently bad. How dare he do that? And it's like, yeah, okay, you know, again, we knew they were lying. The American people knew they were lying, and they voted against Democrats in the 2024 election for that very reason. And now what are Democrats showing to the world? Yes, again, we were never serious about border security, and we're going to continue to oppose it. And that's why arguably you should never vote for them again. You know, just saying. But with that said, guys, okay, let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comment section down below. Are you happy that the military has finally been deployed to the border? What do you think of the Democrat reaction to it? Okay, because I think it's just so telling. Let me know. Be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe if you are new, and until next time, God bless and peace.